Good evening, and I call to order our July 19th, 2016 City Commission meeting. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have our roll call, please?
Mayor Hines.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Here.
Commissioner Terry.
Here. Okay, the first thing we have on our agenda tonight are our announcements. Are there any announcements this evening?
Hi, Jeff Lang, 9586 North State Route 66, the proud founder of Protecting Our Waterways. We just had our 13th annual clean sweep of the Great Miami River on Saturday. We had 118 volunteers out there, 46 canoes, 4 or 5 pickups, a dump truck, a crane truck, the police four-wheeler and trailer, and a variety of hostesses that got everybody food and water and got them off safely. No mishaps, a few malfunctions on a few dumpsters, but we took care of that. But early counts right now are 151 tires for our 16 miles. The weights are not in except for the city of Piqua, the D team, and that was 1,460 pounds, 44 tires, and 1,960 pounds of trash. And I especially thank Commissioner Wilson and Chris Smeezing, and also the Chief of Police, Bruce Jameson, all three being out there to heave and hoe and get all the trash out. So thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. I also would be remiss if I didn't thank our main sponsor, Cargill, who puts in the lion's share of money along the whole clean sweeps, all 142 miles. Also, I would like to thank the city of Piqua for Doug Harder in the street department loaning out some signage and some safety cones for me. Also, the police department for keeping our backside, and the fire department in case anything happened. Atlanta Sportswear is major sponsor, Miami Conservancy District, Cox Media, American Rivers, Butler County Stormwater Consortium, the City of Sydney, Heidelberg Distributing, Bond-Bright Distributing, Sweetwater Brewing in Atlanta, and then Protecting Our Waterways. And of course, the people that have donated big capital money years ago for our canoes, which is Jackson Tube Service, Hartzell Propeller, Piqua Community Foundation, Piqua Rotary Club, Piqua Steel Company, Miami County Foundation, the City of Piqua, Rich Donnelly Foundation, Arts Tool Rental, Miami Valley Steel, Community Foundation of Shelby County, America Honda Motors, Troy, Scott Family McDonald's, Unity National Bank, French Oil Mill Machinery Company, Barrett Paving Materials, Direct Digital Media, Andy's Garden, Swift Run Farm, the City of Sydney, and Crayex, and also a special call out to Crayex. They provided the bags for all 142 miles of the sweep. Wow. That was a pallet of bags. Very heavy too, I might add. But of course, I can't get any of this done without great volunteers. So a special thanks to all of our volunteers. Many of them I call repeat offenders. They do it every year, Commissioner Wilson being one of them. And that's just phenomenal because this is not an easy task, and it went off without a hitch, except for a few things on the dumpster. People started filling up the dumpsters before we started the sweep, and people started putting trash in the dumpsters when the sweep was done. And you can't put tires in the dumpsters, so we had to go in there and fish them all out. And then they stacked them too high, and we had to put the trash back in the dumpsters. And then you have dumpster divers that go in and get the steel, and then they don't put the trash back in. So Sunday night was long and hard for me because I had to go back after all the dumpsters. I still have a sofa and 2 mattresses to pick up underneath the I-75 bridge. But truly a great effort from my volunteers. All the local eateries in Piqua that give us literally several dozen pizzas, sandwiches, burgers, soft drinks provided, water provided, and to get this thing pulled off year after year is not easy. Everybody wants to be a part of it. I had a lot of newbies, and the newbies did tremendously well, and they're all hooked, and they want to be back each year. So remember our website, www.protectingourwaterways.org. There's a tab on the far right called Contact. send me an email with your phone number so I can call you in January or February to have you reserve the date for next year, which is always the third Saturday in July. Any questions or anything?
I just want to say on behalf of our city, Jeff, thank you. I know that you had a lot of volunteers, and we appreciate that, but we also appreciate you and your passion for doing this and the organization of it. For how many years has it been?
This is 13.
13 years.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
so much. We really appreciate it.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, just from what the D team got, I'm going to say we probably had 13 or 14,000 pounds of trash. And you got to remember that's a higher number than last year, but last year we didn't go down the river. We had high water, so no canoes hit the water. So this was actually a 2-year accumulation this year. And thanks to Ed Krieger down at Power Department for dropping our water level at the power plant so we could get all the stuff off the bottom. Some of those guys will tell you that wasn't a lot of fun dragging boats that much extra distance, but we got it all clean. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Jeff,
it.
if I could, I know one of the more fun things is you have each team, you give an award for the most unusual or weirdest thing, whatever you want to say, and sometimes we can't
right.
say it on air, but can you tell us what the most unusual thing of all the teams was this year? Did you, I know what we found, but it
I'll
wasn't
just give
too
you a
exciting.
splattering because I
Okay.
didn't hear what the final votes are, but we had 3 tents this year. We had a purple goose made out of concrete. We had a about 8-foot tall section, 6 foot tall, 3 foot wide at the base, rectangular, solid, plastic barricade from off of a highway. When you go down the highway and you see concrete barriers that sort of block off the construction through from the medians, they're made out of cement. Imagine one of those twice as tall, 8 feet long, made out of orange plastic. And that was not put in a canoe, that was floated down by a young lady, 14 years of age, and brought that down the last 2 miles. Bowling balls, coat hangers, vacuum cleaner come to mind, but just all kinds of stuff that shouldn't be in our river.
Yeah.
So the next big river events that I want to remind everybody of is, of course, August 6th, down the river, down a beer at Lock 9. Get your tickets at Reedmore Hallmark, also Piqua Beverage, also Main Street Piqua, and there's a location in Sydney and 1 or 2 in Troy, and you can go to the website. Also, August 20th is our Main Street Piqua duck drop. I think Lorna's going to try to drop 3,500 ducks this year, which is a little bit higher than last year. So lots of things happening on the river, and I'm excited about that because more people need to come to the river, see how pretty it is, and come out and fish it, walk along it, rollerblade, run, kayak, canoe, whatever. It's pretty now, very pretty.
Well, thank you for keeping it clean so we can continue to enjoy it.
Thank you. You're welcome. See ya.
All right, any other announcements? If not, we will move into our health board agenda. We are moving into that part of our meeting. And the first thing on our agenda is the approval of minutes.
Oh, yes. There's one item left from the minutes of August 28, 2012.
Okay, any comments or questions about those minutes?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Okay,
Second?
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Now I move on to our new business, the first one being resolution number H-302.
A resolution appointing Melissa Kinney as a registrar of the vital statistics for the Piqua Health Department.
Ms. Welker will provide the staff report.
Thank you. The Vital Statistics Registrar works out of the Health Department and is responsible for maintaining all of the vital records for the city, meaning the birth and death records. Melissa Kinney is our administrative assistant. She's been performing those duties for quite a while now, and this just allows her to continue on in the training that's provided by the state, and then continue to maintain those records for the department.
Any questions or comments from the commission?
Move to adopt Resolution H-302.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, resolution number H-302 passes. And now resolution number H-303.
A resolution to authorize certain actions by the Health Commissioner or his authorized representatives.
Ms. Welker.
Thank you. State law allows for the health commissioner or his representatives to make certain actions when we're conducting food service operation inspections. However, the state law says that the local board of health has to authorize the health commissioner to take those actions if he so chooses. So that's what this legislation does. It would allow the health commissioner or his representative to embargo food, destroy food, or tag equipment in a facility. We've never actually had to do any of those three items, but this just allows us that flexibility if something were to occur where something in an operation was so out of sorts that we felt it was an immediate danger to the health of anyone who might be frequenting those establishments, that we could take immediate action to rectify that situation.
Amy, and I believe the state continues to ask us to adopt this legislation.
Yes, during our state audits, this is one of the provisions that they look for to see if we have authorized these actions to take place. And in the past, we've never really gone through the process because like I said, we've never had to actually do these things. But they keep asking us to go ahead and do it, so we're just doing that now.
Any questions or comments from the commission?
I move we adopt Resolution H-303.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, resolution number H-303 passes. And now I need a motion for the adjournment portion of the Piqua Health Board.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we now move into our regular city commission meeting, and we have our consent agenda for that before us.
One item, the minutes from the July 5th, 2016 regular city commission meeting.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
All those in favor for approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, our consent agenda passes. And now we move on to our new agenda, the first being ordinance number 11-16, and this is a first reading.
An ordinance to levy special assessments to pay for the cost of nuisance abatement assessment.
Ms. Welker.
Thank you. This is the annual ordinance we do each year at this time of the year to assess to the property taxes the fees that we have incurred to mow grass, pick up trash, do various abatements on properties. The process of how this takes place is we typically receive a complaint. We go out and investigate that issue. We give the property owner notice that something needs to be corrected, and we give them a time frame to comply. If they fail to comply, then we hire a contractor to go out and rectify the situation. The property owner then gets billed for those services, and if they fail to pay that bill, then our city ordinance states that we place those costs onto the property taxes.
Okay, thank you. Any,
Amy, there will be varying costs on the, do you want to cover why that varies from
Sure.
one to another?
Yes. Our local ordinance has a provision for escalating fees if on a first or second offense of a nuisance violation, the administrative cost is $35 plus the cost of the abatement, whatever the contractor's cost was. And then there's an escalating fee of $100 on a third or fourth offense in 12 months, and then a $500 escalated fee for 5 or more violations in an 18-month period. So that's why you'll see that some of the fees might be $500 and some dollars for a grass cutting, as opposed to one that might only be $75 or something. It depends on how many times it was in violation.
okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission?
Yeah, just to go over all this again, the grass height violation, I believe, is what, 8 inches?
8 inches?
And then So we'll give them a notice, and we'll give them typically, what, about a week, or how many days?
Yeah, it's usually 5 to 7 days.
Okay. And then at that point, we would schedule the grass to be mowed, if it's grass in this case. So that's the whole procedure. And this is the only way we can assess them through the taxes, correct? We don't have any other way of
Right,
doing
that this
right?
is what the ordinance allows, and it's very specific about the process we have to go through.
Okay. All right.
Anything else from the commission? Do we have any comments from the public on this ordinance? Then this will stand as our first reading of ordinance number 11-16. And now we move to resolution number R-91-16.
A resolution of authorization to submit an application for Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and Local Transportation Improvement Programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Shawnee Stormwater Diversion Sewer Project.
Mr. Alexander will provide the staff report.
Yeah, this resolution would allow the city to file an application with the Ohio Public Works Commission in the amount of $200,000 that would directly go to the stormwater project that we will be doing the construction on in the summer of 2017. This funding is a loan at 0% with up to a 30-year payback. So it's a very good opportunity for the city to acquire funding for that project at no interest involved as far as the repayment would be on that.
Any questions or comments from the commission on this resolution? Any comments from the public?
I move we adopt resolution R-91-16.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, resolution number R-91-16 passes. And now we move on to the point of public comment. Do we have any public comment this evening? If not, we will move to the city manager's report.
Thank you. I think we had a very good first-year event with our Piqua Fourth Fest. We learned a lot, and we will strive to make it better next year. I want to personally thank our Fourth Fest Planning Committee, all the volunteers, city employees, sponsors and entertainers and vendors for being part of this first event that we think was very successful. We estimate that there were between 10 and 15,000 people in the downtown area for the concert and fireworks. It was a pretty significant crowd. So we think it was off to a good start, but we do anticipate that it's going to get even better in future years. The WOTVC Piqua Channel 5 is sponsoring a Meadow Muffin Contest as a fundraiser for the station, which will be held in September. I hope that each of you will purchase a deed for a plot of land for that day and a chance to win $1,000. And we'll be selling 500 muffin plots for this event. So if you're not familiar with Meadow Muffin Contest, it does involve a cow. And we will be having that event and using a local heifer to help us with that whole contest. And it should be a lot of fun. And our judges, Mayor Hines, Mayor Hines and Jim Oda, and I believe Jennifer Welker will be the three judges that will be judging where the muffins fall and what plot so that we can award the funds accordingly. You can win first place up to $1,000. You can win $1,000. And second place, because not all muffins are spread evenly, second place would be $500. But we look to have a very good time out of this and should be a lot of fun. On a more serious note, at the last commission meeting, a citizen complained about the number of times that police have been called to a certain residence. And upon reviewing the data, we agree that too many calls were made, and therefore we have instituted an internal process to identify those particular situations and to immediately deal with the issue. I won't go into the process because that is something we want to keep internal, but we feel that we can correct the problems in these cases and can deal with real issues at particular residences without going too long, and sometimes things fall between the cracks. But the law director, the police chief, and myself are working to make this a situation where neighbors don't have to worry about a situation dragging on and on and on. So we appreciate that citizen coming forward and kind of making us more alert of this situation. So it is something that we are concerned about and something that we will be dealing with. And that's all my comments, unless anyone has any questions tonight.
Yeah, can you go into a little bit about the specific address of how that has been resolved, or as much as you can?
The particular residence that was brought into question, we met with the property owner, and this is an issue where it becomes a nuisance. And when I say not a yard or grass nuisance, but an actual nuisance of having so many police calls and so many issues, that it is an issue that has to be dealt with. What happens is that if that property is put on notice as a nuisance location, it cannot be rented. In the current situation, the property owner has started the eviction process of everyone at that residence. We do believe most have moved out, but we're watching it closely. And that's part of the arrangement, is the property owner has to make some changes, and we have to be provided with a lease showing who should be living there, and things of that nature. But it's a negotiated arrangement that on these particular problem residents where it's been time and time again that police are called for various reasons.
Okay.
That are serious reasons, I should say. So.
And I think when we get this resolved, a lot of times the people will scurry away and go to other places. So it's really important that the people living wherever you live to keep an eye out for any activity that you may see, so we can go to the next place, because just because you close down one house, the people move on to other places. So we really need people to keep
And I think that we have to clarify that it's not just about somebody not liking a neighbor and calling.
Right.
These are serious issues that need to be dealt with, and that's where it puts it into the nuisance category.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. So it got resolved, the complaint, and we've got a better policy, and I think we're on a good road then. Good.
What is the possibility of the Fourth Fest being moved to all to one location next year?
Well, I think, we've discussed that a little bit. A couple different issues. We did the Fourth Fest at Fountain Park for one reason, was that it's shaded and activities it's a lot cooler and so forth for kids. A lot of the family-oriented events that we had, and keeping with some of the tradition of people wanting something at Fountain Park, it turned out to be a pretty good situation. So we probably had 5,000 or more out there, which was a tremendous turnout. The nonprofits and the churches that had booths, their initial indication has been that they did better during the 5 hours than they have ever before. And again, we plan to make this a bigger event out there and attract more people, and I'm sure we will attract more booths. One of the biggest complaints was we didn't have waffles and elephant ears and stuff like that. We'd certainly like to have that, and would hope that some organization would want to do that again. The bring in all the event, there's been some suggestion to bring it all downtown, but I think the full sun area, we're not always going to have a 4th of July in 70-degree overcast weather, which made it pretty nice this year. But, we're still thinking about what to do, but there's been a lot of expressed interest in keeping part of the event out at Fountain Park. So it's,
Okay.
and it gives us Hans Pavilion to do music and other type things, which works out really, really well. So again, there's a lot of, we know there's a lot of improvements that we can make, especially in the fireworks. I know the fireworks are pretty good, but I know the viewing area, Lot 9 Park was my error. I thought you could see the fireworks, but that didn't work out to be as, they didn't go up as high or whatever, the visibility of them. So we certainly can fix that for next year and give time from when the music ends for people to move, or I've already talked with the fireworks company about maybe using larger shells and things like that. So I think there's some ways to do that to make it much more visible, but we did have some tremendous crowds downtown for it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay. Why don't we start with Commissioner Wilson? Do you have any comments?
Don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Commissioner Terry?
I think everything has been hashed over that I wanted to talk about.
I'm good.
Commissioner Vogt?
Not a thing, thank you.
Okay. I just have a couple things. Another comment about the good work that Protecting Our Waterways did, which was wonderful. We do give thanks for that. I also for those of you who have gone by the library, Jim Oda and his library staff, and it was sometime last week, tied some blue ribbons around the columns of the library in support of our police force. And I just heard of another shooting before coming here today. And our police force has been on my thoughts and on my heart as well. And I have taken the lead from Jim and the people from the library, and I am asking our citizens to create a sea of blue. And I'm encouraging citizens to take blue ribbons, as the library has done, in support of our police department, and tying them on trees in front of your house, anything that a lamppost, whatever, on your car, but to support our local police force, to let them know we appreciate you, we appreciate the ways that you put yourself in harm's way for our community and keep us safe. And it's horrible what has been happening in our country, and we cannot make sense of this at all. And we want you to know, though, as citizens of our community, that we do support you. So I encourage all citizens to go out, and the library actually will have some blue ribbons that you can go get, hopefully by the end of the week. Or if you've got something at home, it doesn't matter. Just get a ribbon and tie it out there to support our police department. Also, just a reminder, my next walk with the mayor will be July 30th, and it will be in Ward 3 in Commissioner Wilson's ward. We will be meeting behind Reedmore Hallmark in the parking lot, and it will be from 10 to 12 on Saturday morning, July 30th. And Gary Huff will be joining us, as well as
Chief Jameson.
Chief Jameson, thank you. Chief Jameson will be joining us as well. So we encourage all citizens to come out and to be part of that walk with the mayor on the 30th of July. And if there's nothing else, we will adjourn our meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.